All these evil spirits that have access to our spirits simply scream the absence of the Spirit of God. When we come into the word, I gave you John chapter 6, verse 63, when Jesus says to them that the words that I speak to you are spirit and are life. The flesh profits nothing. So let's focus on the spirit, because I created the spirit first. So every time you come here and you listen to the word of God, his spirit enters you. When his spirit enters you, how? Via the knowledge, the understanding of what this word is saying. It erases all those other spirits that were caused by the words of other people, words by the words that have been said to us. They even start in the labor ward. The nurse is abusing your mom. Your mom is cursing you because of the labor pains, and she's regretting the day she ever went to bed with your father, and she's saying all of these words. And then even the midwife holds you, and then she says, what an ugly baby. So from the minute we come into this world, these people throwing around unnecessary bad words that plant this, and even if we are babies, our spirits are so alert. So we pick up on these words, even though, please, I'm speaking to you from a spiritual context. According to Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5, the Lord knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. So, the Lord knew you. What does that mean? Your spirit was known by God in heaven before your mom and dad got together for you to form in your mother's womb. So when I say to you that when the nurse says that you're such an ugly baby, you hear. Why? Because it is your spirit that hears. Your spirit is 1,000 years old. You were there from the beginning of time, like you chilled in heaven until your mom and dad got together to form this flesh, and then the Lord sent his spirit, your spirit, who you actually are. You are your spirit because you're a spirit being. It is the spirit that gives life. So the Lord breathed life into that fetus. And then you became your mother and father's child via the flesh. That's why you look like them. But your spirit, you are a child of God. So your mind has to stay aligned with the mind of God for you to have favor in the sight of God. Unfortunately, when we come into this world, the world does a good business of diverting us from the mind of God. The system has put things in place that qualify us for being successful people. You have to be in this class by this age, and then you have to have graduated by this age. You have to have gotten married by this age. You have to have gotten a job by this age. You have to have had X amount of kids by this age. You have to speak this way to do this. And the sad bit is we have left out the spiritual context. So you find a person growing in the physical, in earthly wisdom, and we're disregarding the mind of God, because it is the mind of God that gives us favor. That's why even though you are a successful pilot or a doctor or a lawyer, your manners suck. How do I mean? You do not have friends because you do not know how to get along with fellow human beings. You only know the earthly way of being successful. And the Lord is calling you back to his word, because what his word teaches us is to how to relate with him. And when we find favor in his sight, then we're able to have favor in the sight of man as well, because God is the one who created all other men. You will find that once you're perfected in the image of God, in the imagination, in thinking like God, and hence walking like God or acting like God, you will easily make friends.